Here we are. Sunday reflections. Interesting day indeed. It's Easter. Easter. What happened in Easter? Well, we know exactly what happened in Easter. Sunday reflections on Easter. And well, I'm not a Christian, but hello someone. But it's something I reflected on. Wow, it's a doozy. Shad me boy, elusive, JBL, hello, welcome to Sunday reflections. And what I want to talk about is a historical event that happened this weekend. Joe Morgan. This is by no means, anything new. Not at all. This actually goes back some, 1,500 years. The crucifixion of Yahshua, Jesus Christ, as we know him. Hey, True American Loretta. And to reflect on it is the way that I reflect on it. It would be very reminiscent of a lot of the that's more. A lot of what the Catholics and some of the Jesuits and some of the other hardcore Christians would look into and observe, especially in the past. We fail to realize how Prepper Cowboy. Hey, what's up? We fail to realize how much of an impact it was. It's we don't know the details, but we do know the details. But it loses a lot of the details and the in the nuances that happened at that time. Crucifixion was well known. The Romans didn't invent it. The Persians actually invented it some 300 years prior. The Persians is, the great Persian conquest that took on, the Greeks, and, they crucified everybody. And they basically invented crucifixion. And crucifixion was a horrible way to die, and actually the most painful way to die. That's where we get the word excruciating from. And the details that I'm going to lay out will tell you why. And yeah, this is medically known. This is historically known. All right. Yeah, got Joe Morgan, True American Loretta. That's more elusive. Hello, welcome everyone. And I just wanted to look at it from from my perspective, and I will try to be as respectable as possible, but science and history and facts, I am going to be respectful, as respectable as I can. So we've all seen Mel Gibson's The Passion of Christ, and yeah, that was pretty rough. And I would have to say that was probably the most historically accurate depiction of his death, maybe, except for the crucifixion part. F home 2C. So, like I said, the Persians invented it, but the Romans perfected it. And usually crucifying in the crucifixion, the Roman thing, a crucifixion was held for the most heinous of criminals, and because there was a lot of crime, and of course you have to understand the political impacts. The political scene at the time was, Israel was under Roman rule after being conquered and defeated, but they never gave up. Matter of fact, the death of Christ actually galvanized the Israeli movement against the Romans, and the Romans eventually had to leave. They just couldn't hang on. The Jews were putting a lot of pressure and mounting quite the resistance against them. So yeah, I'm playing with my axe. Check it out. That's what I've done so far. I've sanded it, light sanding, and I've just literally just carved into the epoxy stuff. It doesn't come off in my hand. It feels good. So yeah, this thing is going to be covered in ruins. That says Domer Meth Axe, trial by axe, because this is our trial by axe, right? So yeah, this stuff is amazing, absolutely amazing. There's the size of it, the actual size. Impressive, I think. I'm digging it. Anyway, so let's get back into this, shall we? We all know why Jesus was crucified. Before he was crucified, he was scourged. Scourging is basically you get whipped until you are literally just your skin is, the back of your back is just lacerated from this like whip. Cat o' nine tails with these. They had balls on them and they had these teeth on them, and they literally rip curl. Hey, welcome. And the scourging of Jesus nearly killed him. They almost killed him with scourging, and they had to stop. So he was losing a lot of blood already. Be charming, hey. So he was losing a lot of blood. He was beaten. One short of killing, right, Aaron? The Passion of Christ, I think, was probably the most historically accurate of a crucifixion. Of course, the crowd and everybody has to get in and throw fruit and jeers and cussing and do their own, slapping and throwing things and hitting them. The part of him carrying his cross is may or may not be true. That wasn't required. Usually they were made on site. The cross was usually made on site. But if there could have been, thinking about how the Romans, how the Roman intellect was to make the prisoner carry his own, implements of death. Hey, Mama Red, what's up? So it's possible. It's very possible. But if the Bible says it, and that's the thing, is that at this time, when the Bible is literally telling this story, it is true. This is a historical marker in the world of history. All things in history are marked by this moment, by this weekend. So what comes later is from the hearts and minds of men. I don't know. But we do know the facts, and we do know the dates. The Romans and the Jews kept really good records. Truth with Tom, hey. Okay, yeah, Tom, yeah, he had to carry a beam, which would have been heavy after being scourged, or I don't know. Maybe he was scourged. Maybe he had to carry it, and then he got scourged, and then he, got put on the cross. But Folks, what I'm about to go into with the crucifixion is absolutely just excruciating. It literally made my skin crawl. So the pain, the humiliation, yeah. So the most painful bit, yeah, it is actually deemed the most painful death. Uh, yeah, Tom, that was just the beginning. That was just the beginning. So when he gets to the when he gets to Calvary, the mount, and or whatever, the hill, they lay him down on the cross. Fuck Trudeau, hey, what's up, Sean? Welcome to Sunday Reflections. And so when they lay him, Doug Ford, who's that? Doug Ford, is he worthy of our wall? Is he worthy of trial by axe? Hey, what's up? Holla, holla. What's up, Lori? So what they do, this is very key, is that obviously the Jewish redneck prepper, hey, welcome. Just talking about the crucifix of Jesus Christ. And so obviously they put nails in your hand like this, and you're on the cross. Your back is you're pretty much like you're in the cross dimensions, but your legs were bent at a 45-degree angle. Imagine laying down on the ground and you pull your knees up a little bit. Yeah, and then they nailed your feet. Usually with one big nail, both feet, low like this, and one nail all the way through here. And there's been many stories and speculations and studies is that no, this would not have been enough to carry the weight, or this would have been, or this. The hands. It was the hands and the feet, just like the dogma. The hands and the feet, the palms, the wrists, because it trust me, it gets worse. The method to the madness gets worse. So after he's nailed, which is excruciating in itself. And oddly enough, people actually go and do this. There's places in Honduras and in Central America and in South America and in Mexico that you can go and pay and get crucified. And usually you're good for about 10 to 15 minutes. Really. There's one guy that did it. He's one of those pain guys. He does all the pain stuff. He's got tattoos all over him. He went and he lasted 45 minutes. And he said it was the most life-changing, excruciating pain he's ever felt in his life. There's actually a doctor that has been studying crucifixion for a long time. He actually takes his son and throws him on a cross, but doesn't use nails. They just strap him in. You can do the same. The same effect can be done with strapping in, and straps him in this method where his arms are outstretched and his knees are bent. And so if you understand, if you ever tried to set up against a wall, your thighs are taking on all that weight, and they get fatigued, and you can only last so long like that. So that's the beginning. The beginning is you trying to keep your upper body up, because gravity wants to pull you down. And when it does, it affects your breathing and your heart. Eventually, the muscles in the legs cramp up and they give out, and the body slumps forward, slumps down, putting extreme pressure on the rib cage and all this, and your lungs and your heart. So your heart has to pump faster to try to get this blood, and your reaction is to pull up, to breathe, to pull your chest out, so you're actually asphyxiating and getting hypoxia. Eventually, the your wrists disconnect, your elbows disconnect, and your shoulders disconnect because you just can't. It's just and so you drop, and you drop in this unnatural rolled position with your knees bent, and you cannot pull up. You can't pull up with your upper body, so you have to use your lower body. And it's a conscious effort to continue to breathe. Because while you're slumped over with everything disconnected from your shoulders all the way to your wrist, your chest and everything, your rib cage is pushed into your heart and everything. And so excruciatingly, you have to push up on your legs with your feet that are nailed into the cross there at a 45-degree angle, like you're sitting up against a wall. And arch your back and breathe, and then exhale. You have to actually try to exhale. So you would actually swim on the cross to stay alive. It's eventually you lose. And you have the fear of going into hypoxia right away. It's and not to mention that Jesus had already been through the ringer. He had been scourged nearly to death. He had not been given any food, any water. He was dehydrated, and so his blood pressure was rising. His heart was pumping even faster. To try to get oxygen, his CO2 levels were rising in his body because he could not get rid of it fast enough. And with this way to try to breathe, which is extremely excruciating. Imagine all your joints and muscles disconnected, and you have this amazing feeling that you are going to die if you do not take the next breath, and you do, and you have to do it in a very excruciating manner. Well, Pepper Cowboy, that's not exactly true. The source says that they went for his kidneys, to try to, speed up the process. But that was kind of weird because the way that the Romans would speed up the process of death on a crucifixion, they would just break the legs. Your legs still are useful in that survival mindset. But once they break the legs, you cannot carry on, and you literally hang there and asphyxiate and die. But Jesus still had his legs. They did pierce his side. They pierced his kidneys, and they said water came out and everything. Imagine the whole time his mom and his wife were there watching him. And the crowd would cheer. It was a spectacle. The crowd would cheer when he would do that excruciating. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, excruciating. Every move you had to constantly swim on the cross to stay alive. So after 6 hours of the most excruciating pain, of course, Jesus refused the pain-killing wine. He gangsta to the end, right? I mean, they tried to give him some pain-killing wine, this wine that would just numb the pain, and he would just, okay, I die. That was like the thing. That was either they do that or they give you a seat. They would nail a little seat under your butt where you could rest and breathe, but that just prolonged the death to about 9 hours. They had this shit down to a science. they've been crucifying folks for 400 years. So, before Christ was crucified, they knew what to do. So after eventually succumbing to the muscle fatigue and failure, and his heart was literally beating out of his chest. Some have said that your heart will actually burst in your chest. Your chest is caved in on itself, downward and inward, and it's hard to breathe that way. As you're hanging, by these dislocated limbs, and eventually your heart burst, trying to keep up and provide oxygen and get rid of CO2, and your body just can't do it, and heart fills with the lungs fill with liquid. The heart can literally burst in the chest, and death will occur from asphyxiation and cardiac arrest, of course. Yeah, Jay Bell. Yeah, reading history. This is a historical moment in time, in our time. All of our timeline of history is based on this actual event. And so that was on Friday. And they say roughly about this time would have been it. And yeah, it was hot. It's in the desert of Israeli land, the Jew land, and it was hot. So he would have been dehydrated. He would have been. He didn't accept anything. He didn't accept any water. They tried to give him some vinegar. Everything is in spite, right? That the Romans did. And so yeah, eventually he dies. And he's taken off the cross and cleansed and prepared and put into the tomb. And we all know the story of the centurion that was, or the lonely Roman soldier that was tasked with guarding his tomb, because they knew that they had created a martyr. The Romans were really good about this shit. They've done this shit a few times before. Okay. They destroy a nation, then they rebuild it, and they know how to deal with martyrs. All right, Keto's here. Yeah. And so they knew that the movement that Jesus had started had helped to perpetuate this dissident movement against the Roman occupation. Really, I mean, that's what it was all about. And it was an uprising. Riots occurred during his death. And interesting enough, there was a lot of people in the Jewish community that were actually for the Romans. They were pro-Roman, and they went to war and squashed the uprisings and the revolts and riots, which later they got killed by the Sicario. If you know anything about Sicario, look that up. That's an interesting story. And the Jews have been assassinating people for a long time. Fucking ninjas. Zeke, goodbye. Oh man, some of the Sicario assassinations are pretty neat. Milo on the ready, hey. But yeah. And so when Jesus walks out of the tomb, today, right? He walked out today. And the Roman guy is like, "Who are you? What happened?" Apparently, the tomb, if you know how the tomb was set up, I mean, it was true. They took a big, huge brown rock and rolled it into a cave. And it was a way of locking it in. But you could still go in there, and they would. The Jewish people would still visit their dead. It was their right. and they would perform these rites and cleanse the body and wrap the body, and it's a lot of cultures did that. A lot of cultures revisited the dead in their tombs many many times until eventually that was it. That was always the thing, is to come back and have access to the body, to the loved one, to the deceased. But yeah, even with that there, Tom. Well, Jesus just walked out, like literally got up and walked out the wall. Is what the idea is, because the centurion was like, "What?" Eventually, people came. His people came. So Jesus escapes. Okay, the story is Jesus escapes the tomb and does his little gallivant and visits folks, and they're like, "Wow!" And that spreads the word all throughout Jerusalem. And then finally, the sergeant of the guard comes to the centurion and goes, "Open the tomb, please." He's like, "What? No, nobody's been in or out since I've been here. Oh, open the tomb." What the fuck? You failed. Go get him. Go find his body. So that was the idea, is that somebody had somehow tunneled in, and they did an extensive Roman investigation, and they were perplexed. You can see that investigation at the Vatican. They did an extensive investigation, and then finally they realized, well, he's gone, and he got in trouble. He got in a lot of trouble, and things were very traumatic after that. And that moment is when the people of Jerusalem went 100% fuck you, Roman. All of them. Most of the people that were in power, the heads of their communities, and the synagogues and the priests, all the ones that were in bed with the Romans, and they were in bed and working for the Romans to control the people, for the Romans' best interests, which was to exploit them all. They were hunted down and killed. Pontiff Pilate, yeah, I don't know these names, but yeah, I understand. I remember these names. So a lot of people were assassinated, and the Romans were like, where's what's his name? Where's synagogue number 1? He's not here. He was assassinated, sir. What? Oh, what about East Block? East Block, report. He was assassinated too. What about the West Bank? He was assassinated. What about 14th Street? He was assassinated. Damn. So that's when the Romans kind of grasped that. And the people were chanting and rioting and having their basically a celebration. It was weird. It was strange for the Romans to comprehend. They had just killed their martyr. They had just killed their Messiah, and now the people are actually celebrating in Jerusalem. And the Romans were tasked with putting down the uprising, and the people were like, "We don't care. You killed our king, but he came back. You can't kill him. He's definitely the Son of God," and all this and that. And carry on. We're going to take over soon, and they did. And the Romans left shortly. Yeah, a couple years after that. So it's a very interesting story. And yeah, where's the shroud? Where is the shroud? Supposedly it's on display. Still being studied. It's the entirety of the story is so much more better than the watered down version. It really is. Uh, and I think this story made it into the Bible because it's meant to be shocking. You know, it's meant to tug at your heartstrings, you know, and make you think, you know. And even Jesus Christ himself had buyer's remorse at the end, you know. Why hast thou forsaken me? And you know, he actually said, "Hey, I thirst. I'm thirsty." And they gave him some yeah, they gave him some vinegar, and stabbed him in a fucking kidney. If they wanted to be kind, they would have, you know, just broken his legs. But he would have died shortly after. After they break the legs, it's like 2 to 3 hours. You know, or within the hour of breaking the legs, they die. Within the hour. Most people don't make an hour. So crucifixion was a horrifying way to die. Yeah, but it was, you know, everybody thinks that you hung on the cross. No, you are in a fight for your life, and you're absolutely trying to work as hard as you can to stay alive. You know, it's a very active thing to watch. And you know, testament to Jesus, man. I mean, Yahshua, he did 6 hours on the cross. 6 fucking hours. Most people don't last that. But I mean, he was scourged, beaten, you know, tortured, not given food or water. It's, you know, he was already in a compromised state, and loss of blood, and you know, nearly scourged to death. So he lasted 6 hours, where most people probably wouldn't have lasted an hour or two. You know, he stuck it out. He hung in there and lasted 6 hours, and it was a very excruciating thing to go through. You know, a very active, excruciating thing. You know, he's moving and screaming in agonizing pain, excruciating pain, which is where the word comes from. If I haven't said that before, the word excruciating comes from the crucifixion. So. And on there while they stood up the cross. So yeah, just looking into that, you know, it was a terrible way to die. The worst way to die. And this is an actual moment in history that we know of. You know, well, they would also, you know, you talk about how they nail you to the cross on the ground, and then they raise it up and slam it into the ground. You know, okay, yeah, I guess that would be excruciating. You know, they would tie. They would wrap your arms so that when you that sudden, you know, jolt, you know, you wouldn't rip off the nails and fall to the ground. So they knew what they were doing. You know, and they would literally raise it up and, you know, just put it in the ground. There's no need to, you know, do all that because you risk the chance of losing him. So, and that's another thing is that the heads of the nails were designed so that they could not be pulled out. You know, eventually, and they actually have, they say that they actually have some of the nails, which I don't know, that were used in the crucifixion. I don't know. I mean, like I said, millions of people were crucified, maybe more, within a 400-year time frame. You know, so who knows? Who knows these things? Uh, but yeah, it was literally pounded. Vlad the Impaler. Well, okay, I know a little bit about that too. Wallachia is the name of the place that the town, the kingship, and the impaling was literally. It wasn't really that painful until it got up into your heart. The way that the impaling was done is normally is that literally you were put ass first. This pole was shoved up your ass, and you were slowly lowered down. You lowered yourself down on this pole, and eventually, so yeah, that's. But it wasn't really that excruciating. There have been stories of people still being alive for a long time, and it's still cognizant and not in pain and being able to speak while being impaled, actively being impaled. But obviously, once that goes in you, that's it, game over. Then it's just a. There actually have been people that have endured and survived impaling. There has been no cases that I know of historically of anyone who has survived a crucifixion. Actually, there's people that still go get impaled. You can go get impaled, go for the weekend and hang yourself at the club and impale yourself by this. Anyway, it's weird shit out there, but yeah, impalings. Always, fat man. Always on the Wednesday, on the Sundays. Done. It's my way of relaxing. So, crucifixion was no joke. Yeah, what's up, fat man? Garrett, United. Yeah. Oh, let me show everybody my axe here. Been working on it, carving in some ruins. I did some just a light sanding, very light sanding to get some of the sheen off, and to when I was using the thing, it really carved in there, and it bubbles. This stuff really it bubbles up when you put heat to it, but it looks really good, and it's really secure. It's down into the wood just a little bit. I tried to go a little bit deep on the first one right here, and you can see it turn black, and I noticed it. I was like, you know what, I like it with the white. So yeah, it's ready for war. Sturdy hickory handle. Yeah, it's good. Anyway, yeah, crucifixion. Yeah, I can't wear a man bun. I can't. Nope, no. Either hair down or hair up. I mean, hair down or hair back. I mean, it's right here. Ponytail, and that's just to be utilitarian and to get it out of the way and try to blend in and look like a respectable human being, in society. But the hair down is just, my hair is down, and it stays down. Until the morning when I have to go to work. The Brokeback bun. Well, I mean, if you want to get into the bun, okay. So a lot of things were called forelocks. The Japanese were in their culture they did it. The Chinese, most Asian cultures had like a forelock, and that was just like everything was gathered up here, and they tied it here, and it came back here. And then of course we got the Viking ponytail where it comes here, That we don't know about that. There's a lot of serious doubts about that. We think that the Vikings just did this. Hey, what's up? Or did this. Whatever. How about, yeah. I would rather prefer to just bind it up, keep it out of the way, and then, because it does get in the way. When you're doing stuff, it does get in the way. I mean, if you've ever tried to do stuff and your hair is like this, I mean, I can't see much. I can see, but can you imagine, swinging an axe? You can't see it. You can't see where you're swinging the axe. You can't see what's coming at you. That's an issue. So, just putting your hair back, binding it any way that you can, Chuck C. Yeah, you see a lot of that man bun stuff, and there were ways that they wore it, back in the day, in different cultures, different societies. Look at some of the hairstyles of the India, crazy, and they did all kinds of crazy stuff with their hair and their beards, and and some of the tribes, some of those tribes, fighting and cooking and working, put your hair back. That's right, you put your hair back. You don't want to get in your face. The only haircut that we really actually know that, say, the Vikings or the Norse had was that started with the Danes. Is that they didn't really care what went on the front here on the top, as long as their neck was shaved and clean. So they would have like a high, everything was high up, and so that was so that if you were beheaded, the Axeman, your hair wasn't disturbed, and so there's a interesting story of some Viking raiders that were captured by a king. I think it's in Spain. No, off the northern coast of Africa. And so the story is that these 7 Vikings were going to be publicly executed. Were going to be executed right there, and their hands were tied in front of them. And the king was standing in front of them, and one of the guys said, and they said, "Okay, and we're gonna kill you now." They just stood there and looked at each other like, "Okay," which threw the king back, and he's like, "You're not scared? You will be scared. You cut off his head." And so the first Viking was like, "Hey, if I'm going to kneel down for you to cut my head off, could you please just get somebody to hold my hair for me, and and have a good clean shot at my neck, because I don't want my hair to mess up." And they're like, "What the fuck?" Okay. And so a lonely private was tasked with holding the hair of one of these Vikings. So when the guy, and talk about perfect timing, when the guy went to raise up and cut the Viking's head off, the Viking literally pulled really hard, and the guy that was holding his hair went forward, and the guy chopped off his buddy's hands. Which, and then the Vikings were sitting there just laughing. That's always been the mentality is, oh, we're faced with death. Oh, well, fuck you. We're gonna have some jokes. And the story is, which is not really been founded, but that the king was so impressed and laughed his ass off too that he let them go. And then the other story was that he gave them a job in his army and all that. I don't know. That's neither here nor there, but it was a great story indeed. They all had a good laugh. So, yeah. Yeah. But, okay. All right. You guys got me going off on left field here. Back to the Sunday reflections. Jesus, man. And this is this event that happened, what, 1300, 1200, 1500 years ago, still affects us to this day. And it affects everyone. It's a Jesus Christ superstar. I lived. I worked on this. It's good. Oh shit. Yeah, J Bell. That's why the Marines we were bald headed. I incline to agree. Having long hair while you're doing stuff out there, it can be a liability. And I have contemplated that. Yeah, maybe I will cut my hair when things go down, just to be ready. But the other side of me is like, nah, fuck that. Yeah, exactly. Firefly, BC, BCE, AD, before the death of Christ, after the death of Christ. Jesus Christ's death is a marker in history, in our history, in our timeline. Go to any timeline, historical timeline, the death of Jesus Christ is there. It's because it was recorded and carried on. Hey, you, what's up? What's up? Welcome to Sunday Reflections. And that was the Roman way, was to just round up people and crucify them until the populace gave up and gave in. Because it's quite the thing. And watching the populace change to where they're actually rooting for the Romans, that's what they wanted. Just like here, right? Tanya, what's up? They wanted the people to be in line, and some of the people actually had grandiose dreams of being Roman. Because once you're a Roman citizen, then you have rights. Funny how that worked, right? The sky is up, is it? I think so. Having long hair lets me know that, because if the sky was, if my hair was hanging, I would know I'd be upside down. It also lets you know which way the wind is blowing. But yeah, the sky's down. The sky is down. We got an argument now. Gladiators, yeah. And that was the idea of the Romans things. Oh, thank you very much, Aaron. I don't think so, but thank you. It's a bird nest. The Romans, their citizens enjoyed. They didn't get scourged. It was against the law to scourge a citizen unless it was extremely heinous. Chris McGrath, hey, how you doing? Welcome. There were certain taxes they didn't have to pay. They were assorted certain protections and freedoms. They still had to pay their taxes and their stuff, but a Roman citizen enjoyed a lot of privilege and comfort. Hey, I see what shift kickers here. All right, Keto Homestead with Jess. Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, Jess? Hey, sorry, I haven't been watching chat. Not much. I'm just reflecting. So it's a strange thing to be able to, go through life, and we all hear about the crucifixion of Christ, but we really don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jess. I've just been reflecting. We go through our lives at Sunday school and everything. We're all taught about the crucifixion, And we think, oh, okay, he was hung on the cross and he died. Well, how'd that work? Some people need those questions answered. That's me. How did he die? Couldn't somebody just kind of, gave him some food and water? And I had questions like that. And everybody, it stumped. It stumped a lot of the Sunday school people. They're like, I look like Zeus. Yeah, I always question. I question everything. I'm just a questioning kind of person. Always going to be that way. Yeah, fascinating. Yeah. But just knowing, and I'm a heathen, Jimba, what's up? I'm not a Christian. Rob Zombie. Yeah, I've been told that, he is risen. And that's an interesting, I need to know more about that. I have questions about that. Because that's not grammatically correct, but that is a thing. That is a Christian thing, that he is risen. Huh? No, it should be he has rose, or he did rise, or it's a past tense, but this he is risen is like a blending of past and present, and you could almost say future. So when I see he is risen, I'm like, of course the grammatics of me is like, that ain't right. Well, no, not really, Jim Bob, but I mean, because none of us were there during the resurrection, the crucifixion, or the resurrection. If you were, please, I would love to see your pictures. He has risen statement of fact that I am making, which is based on faith and historical knowledge, not truly scientific fact, but no more than it can be disputed than evolution or the Big Bang Theory. Oh, okay. So, all right, Jim Bob. Well, here's a twist for you. What if I told you that historically Christianity brought about scientists, the sciences, and we were okay with evolution. They actually see evolution. They see an evolution as a necessary thing. It was like a complementary thing to the creation story. So, and actually, the thing about the Bible is you don't read it. There's most of the Bible you do not read as it's written. You have to think in a parable type of way. It's symbolism. It's a lot of symbolism. Yeah, you can't read a lot of that shit literally. But this point in history, you can. The crucifixion of Christ. Crucifixion of Christ. That is literal. They went literal on that. And went play by play. But you have to think about, how do you explain the wonders and mysteries of the universe and God through basically a primitive man mindset? How do you do that? Do you use big words? Do you use words that they can't understand? No. You have to tell a story. Get them and train them in a way of thinking. So I think that that's been my argument all this time, because I have studied the scriptures and I have studied the Bible and I have studied the histories, and not only of Christianity but a lot of other religions. And the same thing implies is when you talk to other people that are not laymen, they tell you, no, you can't. It's not literal. It's you can't read it by literal, like verbatim. You know, you have to think of it as a way of training your mind to be able to accept later things on down the road. You know, later different ways of thinking. It's a way of training your mind. Yeah. Well, I mean, Jim Bob, they both did that. They both took records, and the Jews and the Romans, and there were two sides of the Jews. There were the pro-Roman and the anti-Roman, and they all three, the Romans, the pro-Romans, and the anti-Roman Jews, took records and kept records of this historical event, and they all match up. So you have three opposing views, three opposing parties that really don't like each other. And they all came up with the same exact historical rendition of this crucifixion of Jesus Christ. So there's that. What y'all Ishtars and what? No, less evidence historically about Hannibal across the Alps, but everyone is going to talk about the Battle of Annihilation. Julius Caesar, less written documentation for both men. You know, that's an interesting point too. We do know that a extremely large battle happened, and a lot of people died. You know, from Attila, and you know. Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain too, Lori. But you know, I'm gonna work through it. Gonna work through it. Yeah, this thing looks great. Wow. Yeah. I gotta clean up the metal portion of it, but put some more runes on it. I don't know. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, I was getting into this. Yeah. Men of the time use words of their time. And yeah, that's the thing. It's got to be in context to the time. You know, the Bible was rewritten like maybe hundreds of times. The original language it was written in is lost. It's only now are they studying it. So, you know, I mean, not to mention the original Greek version that was translated into it. You know, a lot of things are lost in translation. You know, we have English language is a very beautiful language, and it took a long time to evolve. Most of which it took a lot of influences from different cultures and genres and influences and countries. And you know, nowadays we have countless words that mean countless different things. But a lot of languages, a lot of cultures, things are implied. You know, in Japanese, it's if I could look at somebody and go, store drink milk, store milk, car store milk, and I could say that in Japanese, which I don't know what that is in Japanese, and somebody would go, idea, great idea, and they would go, and okay, let's go to the store and get some milk. Oh, okay. And there's not a lot of discussion about what time it is, and what kind of milk would you like. And it's a car store milk. And so a lot of things like that were implied because they were known. It was common knowledge, and common knowledge things have a way of getting lost in translation. You know, if all of the society of that culture had common knowledge, you know, but somebody coming from the outside, like Ibn Falahin, you know, he would look at things and hear things, and even if he learned the language, he wouldn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And he would go, I'm guessing here, just as we all would. Magog is Russia now, I believe. The Gog Magog thing is it's interesting. It's interesting. But like I said before, ist es. We fell under his. Well, I didn't. But okay, right on, Tanya. What's up, Nosy? So. The Bible speaks of the time that would never think Magog would be Russia, but now I personally do believe that this is the most northern Israel mountain. Oh, okay. I really can't get into prophecy. That's my biggest problem with religions is prophecy. But it is intriguing, isn't it? We knew from the Norse, they had a prophecy of the end times, Ragnarok, and well, it didn't happen. Of course, there is no more ice giants, so I don't know. Maybe something happened. Maybe some prophecies happened, but they wasn't a very prophetic people anyway. They're actually hey, let's go die now. When we talk about being written many times, okay, here we go. And lost in translation is different to say what we mean for the Old Testament is pre-sold. In the New Testament, that's a lot more different. That is true, but the Korah, was it? No, the Torah. Yeah, the Torah. The Torah is there's not been a lot of the Torah being the Old Testament. The Jewish Hebrew version. Not the Judeo-Christian version. It has been revised a few times, but you're right. It's stayed the same, pretty much. It has had the same message pretty much for a long time, for hundreds, thousands of years. I don't know. But the New Testament, the New Testament. Well, the New Testament is all about this moment, Jesus Christ. When I see people changing and I read it would change 30 years ago from a book written hundreds of years ago, if not thousands, I pay attention. I don't. We all do because but you know what? We have to be careful not to have like a manifest destiny of it. Pastafarians. Yeah. It's raining Parmesan cheese. Where's my spaghetti sauce? Meatballs at the ready. Where's my colander? My protective colander. But arg, pirates! Pirates change. Pirates go stop global warming. But see, you got me off my topic now. Thanks. The New Testament, that's been rewritten, but the versions of the Torah have been rewritten so many times to fit their narrative. I mean, the King James version, King James, he wrote it with his version in mind. Hey, take care, Jess. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hey, right on, Joe. And you know me, I'll just squirrel. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Sorry, folks, I need a drink of water. I'm gonna sit here and continuously talk shit with you guys. And what could be one of the most monumentous days of the world to come. Christianity, this Easter thing could definitely be something that endures the test of time. Really. Yeah, laptop boy not looking good. Neither is his laptop. Y'all really fucked him up, man. I have to say, good job. You guys ever had these? These are good. Talking shift. Yeah, we can talk shift. Yeah, I mean, it's this day, this weekend. It kind of ties into mac and cheese. Hell yeah, Sean. I just had like a chicken fajita kind of thing I made. I like my wraps. Yeah, I'm feeling a little down and haven't been doing a lot of my vitamin C has been suffering here as of late. Could be the herbs. Herbs will do that. But we're gonna throw up. Let's try to stay on task here. We know that this happens. Everybody knows that this happens. And something did happen at the tomb. A body went missing. That wasn't supposed to go missing. And then later reports of people saying, hey, yeah, he came and said hi. Or bye. Wow, I was thirsty. 24/7 cycle. Oh wow, Joe. Did you, Lori? Hey, hatchets are cool, man. I've given my nieces and nephews hatchets. Of course, most of them they like to joke and say they've been to Uncle Shad's survival school, and so I would give them like a hatchet, a knife, a lighter, a ferro rod, 550 cord. Say, hey, go out there and make something. And they've made some really cool shit, making clubhouses and things. It all depends on how you say whether or not you're yelling or fluctuating your tone. See, I'm lost in the context. It's kind of like when the Italian mob says, forget about it, right? Forget about it. Or forget about it. I get it. It means what it means, right? But I understand that. But a lot of things can be lost in translation. And a lot of things can be lost in context. I mean, I've seen this, and we've all seen this, You do that again, I'm going to kill you. No, they're not really going to kill you. It's just a way of, he is risen. There's that frame again. What happened to me last night? Nothing. Had a great time here at Trial by Axe, Dakota. Where were you? Yep, I think I'm gonna make the free-for-all thing. Yeah, definitely. Beep beep, drive by, hit the thumb. End of the world. Hey, thank you. In going back, there's a lot of things, a lot of misconceptions, a lot of contradictions. A lot of things are contradicted in the Bible because they're taken as literal when they're supposed to be taken as a teach, as a lesson. Yeah, Aaron. He is risen. Check your notification bell. Yeah, I get it, Jim Bob. It's I'm just kind of like okay. He is risen. And so it's like a present tense, like he never went anywhere, but he did. In the scriptures, he went up. He left. Yeah, he was born. You know, the story of Christ, you know, as the scriptures say, is that he was born, he lived his life, he died a very excruciating, painful death. He came back in 3 days, said bye to everybody, and then left. Like, dematerialized. Never to be seen again. Yet now, everybody misses him. No, J-Bell, no. No, no more lemon shots. Not right now. Although I do have a little headache. But I think it's because I'm ugh. Oh, my head gets like this sometimes. Could be lack of caffeine. It could be, you know, it's not my TBI headache. It's something else. So it's bearable. It's something that I can endure. Yeah, skull. As I drink my emergency. I really do want a cigarette, but I get it. Everybody wants to be able to say with a degree of certainty, with a extreme degree of certainty, that their religion or their understanding of their religion is the truth, is the light, is the way, and that if you fucking disagree with it, you're going to fucking hell. Well, I mean that part I have an issue with, and you know, been in a lot of heated discussions over that. But anyway, because that's my choice, not yours. I don't wish that upon you. But I get it. I get it. I get it. You know, everybody wants to have that understanding and to project that understanding that they know. What's up, Stu? But the more you look into it, the more you're like, wait a minute, I really didn't know that. I ain't the Italian mob. Hell no. Love your Italian mob. Yeah. I don't know. The Vikings did used to work for the Romans, the Constantine or the Byzantine, the Byzantine Empire, the Midgard mob. What's up, Bug Out? Bug Out, what you do? Yeah, welcome. Hey, check out the axe, everyone. Yep. For everyone that hasn't checked out the axe yet, I've done some rune work to it and some work to it. So it's getting there. I'm gonna put some more runes to it. Yeah, it's ready. It's ready to go to war. I'm digging it. But yeah, just boom. And you know, this coming from the Norse pantheon, which you know you could look at it as a death cult. I mean, seriously. But you had a choice. You had a choice. That's the thing. There's always a choice. If you didn't want to go off and raid and find your death in a foreign land, then you could sit at home and tend to the fucking fields and raise some cattle. No, not at all, Jim Bob. For me, history is the easiest to navigate. And it is to tell you the truth, a lot of a lot of history is incomplete. So, you know, cultures, religions have a way of kind of filling that void and having you think a certain way to try to figure out something. Yeah, well, I mean, the theories. I mean, what's a theory? Like the posits of the Big Bang. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I wasn't there. And it's how can something come from nothing? But there is something that uh, scientists cannot do, and that's create life. That has yet to be done in the lab. Uh, Yet it happened here. And we all know that the whole conspiracy theory thing now is becoming alarmingly true. A lot of conspiracy theories are coming alarmingly true. Those are some quick hits and some pick apart games. Mad was as usual funny, knowledge, madman. Thank you, thank you. Be charming. Shot of vodka, maybe. No, thank you. I don't like vodka. Yeah, no vodka. Not a vodka guy. Uh, Junior yeah, yes he did. Yes he did. There it is. You're saying to add to what you're saying specifically, damn it, these pop-ups showed us to people who had the little amount of faith in him last as another coincidence to add. So when you read the book of the Gospel of Jesus, and this is okay, Jim Bob, yeah, and this is something that happened a long fucking time ago, and we're still doing it. We're still holding true and holding that thing. What happened, and it is the basis. It is the basis of a lot of good in the world, really. Because if you think about it, if you have true history, you're golden. There has been a lot of concentrated efforts to rewrite history, even since the origins of mankind till today. Yes, that's true, Bug Out. History is written by the victors. You know, and that's why it's very important to try to find different angles of the truth, angles of that incident or that thing, and then you could get a bigger picture of what actually happened, and then start to kind of narrow it down. Obviously, we can't go back and ask people, "Hey, were you there? Yeah, what happened?" But we can kind of extrapolate from incomplete data. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, okay. Well, hell, what a hell of a concept. And a new one, in fact. Especially by Christianity standards. Christianity means to believe in Jesus Christ. If you're a Mormon, perhaps this is the best way that you can fulfill your life. It is a life that you choose to be a Christian in your particular religion. I want to know more about those Hopi Ant people that brought humans out from the center of the earth. When we find out the Egyptians were in the Great Canyon at the time. Aha! That's technically something different in my opinion. But how can you say, how can anyone say that their belief system, their religion trumps everybody else? Everybody else is wrong, but this one is right. And the way they did it, a lot of them did. I mean, there's been wars. Yes, magic. The goddess Hel, in Niflheim. Yes, hell is cold. Very cold. Very, very cold. And you become a slave to the goddess Hel, and you fight in Ragnarok against Odin and his warriors in Valhalla. Yeah, there you go. So I mean, that's that one in a nutshell. So, can you imagine how far that goes? But eventually the Norse changed and went to Christianity. The Hopi Indians, I mean, they with their ants, the ant people. That's an interesting story. How these their creation story. I wish Rhyme of the Ancient Susanna was here. She could explain it more. Uh, but that's an interesting story. How these people, these ant people, came up out of the ground because the Great Spirit said, "Hey, come up out of the ground and create this world and stuff." Uh, or did they come up out of the ground, or did they come? And so when we start speculating, that's when we get into the whole ancient alien astronologist believe it's either a standard within yourself or it's a standard outside yourself. Well, I mean, what's a standard? I have no standards for religions. I like them. I think they're very interesting. I am too much of a question. I have so many questions about so many things that I cannot say for certain that I am any one religion. I can't. And because I keep questioning things, I keep finding things, that that are contradictions that just don't make sense, and that actually dispel a lot of things. A lot of things are not right. But who knows these things? But that's great, though. It's great that I can sit here and contemplate. Yeah, and that's the thing is religion is a personal thing. I went to his page and looked for it. Couldn't find it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dakota. It's there. I seen it. I did notice that it's still processing the live chat. That's because it is. We are all that one. You could say we're that one speck, one spark of God, and it is our job to look at the world as we see fit and take it all in and perceive it in our own way. And then when we die, we go back to the source, to the God, and become one with God and say, yeah, this was my experience. So that's interesting. When I heard that concept, is that, we were kind of we all have this personal thing, personal perspective, and perception is deception, but we have to figure out a way to perceive the world, the cosmos, and everything else around us. And then when we die, it's like we're a flower and we get picked, and it was a beautiful fragrance, and off into the compost heap we go. I kind of like that analogy. If we can't decide on what already happened, can we at least all get together and try to manage what happens next before we are completely out of time? I am getting tired of waiting for people. I know what you speak of. Bug out? Yes. As I sit here and contemplate, watch a speed trap go on right in front of my eyes on my fucking parking lot. Yeah. Hey, quit speed trapping around here. But yeah, interesting. I think that's what religion does. It makes us civil. It makes us civilized. It gives us a way of approaching life's little mysteries, and it actually helps to make you think differently and to creatively come up with a solution, which is the basis of genius in science and the arts. So, yeah, Christianity brought about the sciences. Yeah, Jim Bob. I mean, this is, yeah, this was a epic. It was. They had to do something. Something needed to happen to galvanize the Judeo-Christian, movement. Well, the Judeo movement. Uh, Obviously, through sympathetic means, the rest of the world basically just fell in line. And yes, they did use force to. I mean, a lot of crimes, and a lot of cultures and societies that were facing being Christianized were punishable by death. So the early, I guess some would say when the white man gets to Christianity. Uh, the iron hand of Christianity. And there's also the vice and the grift that comes with it. And that, you know, that's true. Yeah, they didn't know what Christianity was. Yeah, yeah, that's true, bug out. That's basically what I'm saying. You a lot of things held on. We see a lot of that in our Easter holiday. Not that I know of. Were there any Easter egg hunts or bunnies at the crucifixion of Christ? But okay. I'm not concerned about one or the other. I take all into consideration, and then of course I do see the point of religion. I do. We all do. We all do see the point of religion, and what is the point of religion? It's a super encompassing subject. Religion. There are places where religion is not. Where Christianity is not the main religion, but it's not one or the other. You see a lot of blending. Virginia Roots is here. You see a lot of blending, and that's because that Christianity, as we see it, greetings from the northeast. What'd you say? The northwest Erie coast. Yeah, I remember that, Sean. Yeah. Really, I really don't like the word Christianity. Oh, okay, use another word. I will continue to say it, and I don't really want to apologize for offending you, but sorry, not sorry. Christianity. It is Christianity. Christianity is Christianity. A Judeo-Christian thing that came about because of this day. In history, in time, that actually happened. Yahshua was put on trial. Oh, see, we don't like a lot of words. I like what you were saying before. Yes, the way they did it was men like me crusading. Yeah, well, a lot of us heathens still hung on and said, no, we will not convert to your Christianity. And we held true to those beliefs all the way to the end. There are places that were not crusaded. But obviously the Crusades, I get it, Jim Bob. Yeah, that's cool. The Crusades happened in the Middle East. That was a thing. You had to go on crusade to, through a sympathetic way of making a pilgrimages, to save and fight for Christianity. Uh, okay, Jim Bob getting the autocorrect going. I don't know what you said there. But because of this day, it changed the world. Can you imagine if the crucifixion never happened? If Jesus Christ was just allowed to carry on, they had to kill him. They had to frame him. They had to kill him because he was too much of a troublemaker. He would have eventually, we know hindsight being 2020 that the Roman fell and left Israel, but it would have been sooner if Jesus would have been allowed to carry on with his mission, and would he have created an uprising the likes of which the Romans have never seen? But it happened anyway. So would Christianity be what it is today? That's a good question. I don't know. Because if Christ was allowed to carry on, he could have been the next Buddha. He could have been the next living God, living prophet, which is what the Judeo Jews. No, they don't even think of him as a prophet. They don't even think of Jesus as a prophet. And so I think that goes back to the split of the Roman Jew and the non-Roman Jew, the Sicario Jew. That Jew that said, "Sink, dirty Roman, die, dirty Roman sympathizer." Cuve de Nice. I know, I love you. I love how you guys are talking shit, and I can't see what it is. I don't know what it means. Oh, Council of Nicaea. See, you guys are so smart. So smart. Faith is a daily walk. Yeah. Faith. Oh, is that what that means? Deus vult. He is risen. All right, whatever. If he did not rise, would Christianity be what it is today? Wow. Yeah, right. There's so many other books, so many other things about God will. Oh, God wills it. Oh, okay. The God wills it thing. I remember that. God wills it. God wills it. God wills it. Yeah, a lot of atrocities were committed after God wills it. The atrocities of the Crusades were vast to me. The corruption. You could literally walk into Jerusalem, a poor, sick and dying man from England, and walk out of Jerusalem a fucking warlord with more slaves and concubines than you can count. All you had to know was how to swing a sword and play the game. And they did. A lot of fortunes were made in the Crusades just for that, just because of the Crusades. Even though, what was his name? The guy they were fighting, check him out. He was a badass. Not Ibn Falahin. Yeah, Ibn Falahin. Saladin. Saladin, the great Saladin. He a lot of his writings, he was a very smart guy. Some of his writings were a testimony to the Crusades, and he was appalled. They were literally just taking little, what they called smoke-colored camp girls and taking them as slaves and taking them off, and there was a lot of trafficking going on. A lot of trafficking, but it's one of the things that Saladin kind of pissed him off about. The bones kept in the Vatican crypt. I got to go partial way into the Vatican crypt by accident, by our tour guide. We got to see 2 doors, and we got to see some of the. There's a tunnel, right? There's an old door, and there's this like literally round kind of tunnel brickwork that goes off. It just, I mean, the tunnels, they go this way and that way, and we went down this tunnel, and you see all these busts, and you actually see some of the new dead popes that were on the side of the walls, and a lot of busts going all the way back. And then as soon as we turned the corner, there was a very strange door. We went through a very old door, and then we found a very modern looking door. And there were 2 fucking Leonardo guys there. The Swiss, the Vatican guards. They were they had, I didn't see it, but it really looked like an MP5 slung on the back. But they had to be in their garb. Their Michelangelo garb, and they were carrying a halberd, which they had to carry down because it would clang the top of the roof. But they started cussing and yelling at the tour guide, and she was like, "We got to go now!" And we went back out the way we came, and as soon as we got to the old door leading out into the main facility, whatever, the main place. Where the Pope does his thing inside the Vatican, there were more guards there looking at us. And somebody eventually talked to her, but we almost got into the down up in there. That was pretty neat. But yeah, I got pictures of that. I have to show pictures of this. I didn't get pictures of that, obviously. I did get a picture of the Sistine Chapels, which we wasn't supposed to, but yeah, I did get pictures of that, and the museum, the Vatican Museum. A lot of crazy things there too. And what I understand, there's more crazy things going on at the Vatican. The catacombs, such a trip, number of skulls, and why they're and how they're there. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Who knows what's in the vault, the Vatican vault? We know there's a lot of gold. We know that they hoard a lot of gold. The Vatican Island is its own country, own sovereign country. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. It is. Rapture will be after before. Well, okay. And I've already told myself this. I really don't give a fuck. I really don't care. If who's right, the tribulations, the raptures, all that bullshit. I'm still gonna fight for good, even though I'm a heathen. Even though I'm a long-haired freaky guy. That I'm still gonna fight. I would still fight for Christianity. I still would, because I really do feel that at its core, it's a really good thing. It's been a positive force in this world for a very, very long time. And I would fight for it. I would not go devil, but I would be a beast. And I would scare a lot of people. I know that. That's just the way I am. And there is your answer. The Muslims are going to have to move over, I guess. No, you're going to. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Jim Bob. So you're talking about the group? They were going to. I heard about this. I mentioned it in one of the comments. Is that today or during this week, there's a lot of uprising going on in Israel, the Palestinians and all that. All right, so there was a group of 150 Israelis that were going to go to the Temple Mount and sacrifice a goat. They were going to go right there and give up their offerings to the Lord right there on the Temple Mount, which at present time there is a mosque there, right on that rock, the sacrificial rock, you know. But the Hamas caught up to that and did an investigation and arrested these people and literally went to their home and searched or their apartment, and yes, there was indeed a goat being in their apartment. Shad, you can go in there first. Where am I going? Where am I going, Lori? Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. What was that saying? You can't be first, but you could be next. I don't know. Yeah, well. So that's been my in the 60s and 70s, Titania. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't do a lot of Europe travel. I was, in the 90s, but I did get into some of it. I was in Italy most of the time, of course. But as far as like into, hey, little coyote, what's up? Into Europe proper, I might have made it into Germany. I don't know. Oh, okay. Right here. I'm just doing some little rune work on it right now. But the fit and finish of it is perfect. And that damn polyurethane stain is badass. And I took some of it off, just took a little somewhat gritty but somewhat fine sandpaper and just took off that sheen that was on there. And then from there, I'm just going to ruin the whole thing. But it came out with this interesting pattern already. Yeah, I'm in the process of putting runes on it. That says Domer Meth Axe, trial by axe, right? So it's definitely war ready. It's a lot of fun to play with now. It's ready for war. It's just going to be an ongoing project for me until whenever. But yeah, thank you. So buttons on ice cream. That's interesting. I'd like to see you try that. Tanya, sewing buttons on ice cream. Yeah. Cat's here. I mean, we were there killing. Wow. A sheath. What's a sheath? Aaron. No sheath. Girls wearing schools, not being raped. Oh, not being girls. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Jim Bob. I mean, you went to a very backwater kind of place, didn't you? Yeah, crazy shit that goes on in Afghanistan. Yeah, no morals. They like to say they have morals. It's all under the guise of the Muslim thing, But they're all fucking rapist. If they're not raping goats, they're raping boys. They're raping girls. They're trying to rape each other. They're just little rapey fuckers, man. Rapey Afghan fucking hajis, right? It happened in Sweden. The Crusades also made it all bug out. It's a lot safer place. Lot safer place. Okay. Well, like they went to Russia to fight, or no? Because everybody was going. Like Israel was like the new Vietnam, or the new Afghanistan, or the new Ukraine. It's everybody wanted to go there. Especially the King of England and all his all his people. And everybody went together because you could make a fortune. You could amass a fortune. You could have fortune and fame. You could come back a hero. I took on 500 Muslims with my bare hands and killed them all. And, got this gnarly scar here. And the king would say, hey, you did good job. Here, have some land. Have some gold. Good job. Next, training camps. Where? Yeah, but hey, I still do my everyday never forget because I know the truth. I know there's still Americans trapped in Afghanistan. Wow, bug out. Yeah. Think about that, folks. You better hope for retirement. I have retirement waiting on me. When I turn 65. At least I accomplished that with my pest control, or was granted that, by my uncle. I don't know. I'd have to say it's dedication, hard work, but hey, whatever. Who's counting blood, sweat, and tears, right? Yeah. Dead heroes for war that only benefits government agendas. Yeah. That's on all sides, too. Every side, especially this latest thing that we're going through, that we're watching. It's you could pass. Okay. Thank you. Going crazy. Take the credit. You did the work. I did beat Charming. Eventually, because they started giving me shit. I was like, oh yeah, well, here's my list of accomplishments. Fuck you, I'm out of here. That was after my uncle died. But anyway, yeah, pest control. Yeah, I'll probably never do that again. Yeah, Crusades, man, Crusades. That was an interesting part of history too. God was it. How'd you guys say it in Deuce Volt? Deuce Volt? I don't know. I have to look that up. Not my thing, not my bag. But hey, it's good to know it. If somebody says it to me. But it's treat time for charity. Again. And again. And again, charity. I know. You okay over there? Are you okay? What's going on? Huh? Deu Vault. What? Deus Vault. Deus Vault. So it's VA. Deus Vault. Okay. Is that Latin or something? I'm gonna lose my right leg. What? You're gonna lose your right? No, don't lose your right leg. Keep your right leg, Tanya. You might need that. Oh no! Go away. Nope. I have chickens still setting out. I have chickens still sitting out, and she wants some. Some believe Jesus and the Bible was an old world psyop. Well, it worked. It did work, Cat Without a Hat. But, there was a lot of old psyops going on. But, I think generally Christianity, especially Judeo-Christianity, has a lot of merit and a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And anything that you can look at and gain wisdom and knowledge from is very beneficial, regardless of the source. Here we go. Deus Vult, ecclesiastical Latin, God wills it, is a Christian motto relating to divine prominence. It was first chanted by Catholics during the First Crusade in 1096 as a rally cry. Tanya, are you serious? You're going to lose a foot? You're going to lose a leg? Damn. How? So sorry. Damn. Imagine that, losing a... Sorry to hear that, Tanya. Well, damn, man. So sorry to hear that. Well, I mean, you'll be saving half off on shoes. I know, right? Yeah. What happened? What's going on here, Tanya? Why are you losing a leg? You're on your back? Can't walk? Damn. I remember. We got lights in the sky. Okay. I do live near an airport. I remember this guy, friend of mine, that he died, of course, of and socks. Yeah. Save those shoelaces. But he went to the doctor, and he's like, yeah, you got 6 months to live. He's like, wow, I finally got a due date. The doctor was like, what? No, take it easy, calm down. He's like, no, I'm partying for 6 months. Woohoo! My walking is also currently effed up. Man, guys. Yeah. Whatever flavor you prefer to take them. Right on, Bug Out. I like that. America is losing more freedoms on the New World Order, global enslavement. Yeah, that's true, Space Rangers Recording Studios, but it's only implied. It's only implied. So my message is always been that we do what we want, they do what they can. That's always been the way. Anytime any type of totalitarian authoritative regime tries to take over the populace and the masses, they always find out. They always fuck around and find out. So I'm not too much worried about that anymore. And I've said all I was going to see. Right on, Tanya. Right on. Right on, Sean. See more cannabis. Cheers, skull. I'm out of drink. Charity, you're just, she's sitting there just staring at me intently like, what? What is it? What is it? Oh, this is serious, folks. Oh, this is serious. Oh, you're doing the chicken. She's doing the chicken dance. I gotta give her some chicken. I'm trying to save this chicken for my lunch tomorrow. Girl, I'm gonna eat all my chicken. All right, here. There you go. Have some chicken. Lovely chicken. All right, you gotta work for it. Oh. Yeah, right, Highland Husky. Yeah, I've only known a few dogs that could do that. Yeah, so yeah, this has been an interesting conversation, an interesting topic. Tanya, I hope all is well with you, and I hope that this does not slow you down. You just keep on going because you're a badass. You guys don't know what Tanya is. She is a badass, true badass. Don't lose a finger. Oh, I know, right? They do it to their enemies when they try to stand for their rights to be free. Just look what they did to Randy Weaver and his family. They set him up. Yeah, hey, they set us up. They do shiesty bullshit. They always try. Like I said, they try. They do what they can, to try and work us. But there's always something that gets in the way of their plans and problems. It creates a problem for them because the mind is always free and the human spirit is always free, and you can't stop that. Cannot. I cannot be black-pilled. I cannot. I'm sorry that, we're all going to fucking die. We're all going to be fucking slaves. No. I'm going to die fighting. And so is a whole bunch of other people. So it's never going to happen. They might get close. and we need to be aware of that. That yeah, they're gonna take our food, they're gonna take our gas, and they're gonna take our livelihoods. Yeah, sure, they're gonna do all that. You got your hill, yeah, right, Husky. We all got our hills. Uh, you know, all the, yes, that bitch. Uh, Kidnappers walked because the Fed boys were the ones that broke all the laws. That's right, Bug Out. Yeah, I mean it's funny how during that there was gag orders on the witnesses, and a lot of witnesses couldn't go to the trial. They couldn't even show their face. Their names had to be scratched out. Yeah, never trust the government, ever, no, never. I've always said. I mean, here we go with the cliches, but it's true. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears its people, there is freedom. Uh, that's the way it works. That's the way it works. And they have always rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Yeah. Die on my feet than live on my. I'd rather be, well, I don't know. I was going to say the judged by 12 and carried by 6, but nowadays that's different. Hmm. That would be for another contemplation, I believe. But I just wanted to look into and reflect on this whole Easter thing, and come to terms with it. Damn, Tanya. Got mesothelioma, losing legs. Damn. I'd rather die old and fat, but this option doesn't send me to the table lately. Yeah, right, Bug Out. Yeah. Well, it's. I've always known that one day I'm going to run into the fray, and that's what's going to happen. I always thought I'd die in a foreign land somewhere, but I guess I didn't. On the theory that music? Oh no, music from the past and the horror movies warned us. They live on, or the rock and roll bands of the gray areas. If you're gonna die with your boots on, or you're gonna try die with your boots on. Yeah. Well, if I can get to my boots. I have actually, just jumped out of the shower and just started fighting. That's a hell of a thing. Thank you, Sean. Thank you very much. And yeah, but Iron Maiden. Yeah, I loved Iron Maiden. Lucky Dane Preparedness. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, I just wanted to brush on this topic and kind of reflect on the Easter in my own way. And yes, it was bloody and brutal. The facts of how it works, but it is that is part of the truth that we know. And something actually did happen on this day, on this weekend. 1,000-something years ago. Marked time. Time was marked because of this occasion. The world changed at this point. So it's still changing. We still got some growing pains to go through. Some things to start figuring out. But as time rolls on, like all things, especially history, things have a funny way of blending and mending together. I just hope we don't get to that point where, it's like Idiocracy, the movie. I have no fear. It's the most beautiful season. Book is here. All right. But I think it's very important to always go back and understand the truth of the situation. the absolute truth, even if it is a little lost in translation. You know, there's always something there that can be learned, and it's something that can be applied to everyday life now. Uh, hmm. uh, oh, Joe. Yeah. Wow. Tanya survived breast cancer, 2010. Wow. Yeah. That's why I love history. You know, and like Bug Out says, you have to be on guard because the history keeps changing. Wait a minute. What do you mean it keeps changing? We have to at the end of the night remove the shadow government of the new world order and their minions. That could be a solution, spaced out Ranger. That could be. Sicario them. Look into Sicario. Truth is a bitch sometimes. That's right. That's right. But I'd rather be staring at an ugly truth than a beautiful lie. I like that quote. Yeah. But a lot of people like that beautiful lie, don't they? That whole put me back in the Matrix idea. You know, I know this is not steak. I know that this is fake, but I enjoy it. You know, it's easier, right? Lucky Dame, it's easier. It's easier to go along. It is easier. It is quite the burden to know the truth. Right, Rooster. Have a pass, not take personal responsibility and exercise critical thinking. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Samage, Lucky Dame, I'm sorry. I'd rather be free because no matter how dangerous it beats having my head wedged up my ass. Oh, man. And it is true. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And it's kind of painful to sit here as a amateur historian, as a student of history, you know, watching it all play out over again. You know, it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, and that, you know, we've heard that before too. You know, just put your head down, do what you're told, and you'll be fine, right? Rhymes, don't it? I know. I'm a poet and don't know it. Actually, I do know it. I am a poet. I'm published even in my local newspaper. World War III started in Serbia again. Okay. The problem is that for some of us have avoided so many more negative aspects of life until they are bad, and that they move in particular dissertation trophies and the bread and circuses of life. Wow, I like that book club. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Rooster. Tired of being bullshitted. You know? Remember that saying, you know? Don't blow smoke up my ass and tell me it's raining. What brought us here is happening again and again and again. And when will people learn? Yeah. Well, you know, it's true what Reagan said, you know, freedom is only one generation away. And so is knowledge. Generation. Yes, we're all. I mean, look what they've done with the CRT. What they've done with the transgender movement in our kids in the schools. One generation done. They've corrupted one generation. Half of one generation. I mean, yeah, there's still kids out there that are good kids, and they're still kids. You know, anyone that's been affected by this whole sexualization of our children is they're done.
They forever will be, changed. Their innocence lost. That's a terrible thing. That is a very terrible thing. Yeah, kids should be kids, man. Let kids do what they want. They're gonna fight. They're gonna talk shit. They're gonna, you know, make little jokes and shit and do their thing, and they're gonna learn. They're learning. So why teach them? They're sponges, and they absorb whatever you pour into them. If you and they learn in a special way, you know. I was reading up on the Amish. The Amish don't even discuss sex whatsoever with their kids. No birds and the bees, nothing. There's nothing said. Nothing is told. They don't tell them anything. They find out when they get married. They have to work out their own issues, their own sexuality when they hit puberty. Nobody talks to them. It's just a shun thing. Nobody says shit, right? And then they give the what's it called, the Rumspringer, where they get to go run away and do whatever they want to do and decide if they want to stick around. And that's when they go find out about sexuality and perversion and drink and vice and and oddly enough, the statistics say that 90% of the young, you would think some young kids that are going off from the Amish country and come out into the world to experience everything in the world. I think it's from like 16 to 18 or something. It depends. It varies. But they have time to decide if they want to stay Amish, or if they want to be part of the rest of the world, right? And 90% of them come back. The revenge of elders. Deorbit these satellites will be the revenge of elders. Bug out. That's it. Yeah, because they are given money. They give them money. I mean, the Amish are rich. They got some money. All right. They're simple farmers and whatever, but they got some fucking money. And they give their kid here, go run Springer. Go do your run Springer. Max out their credit card. Now they got to go to work. Oh shit. Might as well go back home now. Party's over. Grow your own flower. Right on. Oh. I've been taking care of my 42 years, VA. Virginia roots. Wow. That's amazing. My mother's work is never done, right? Hey, 101. How you doing? Welcome to Sunday Reflections. I'm taking, but now as with all my live streams, we get off on left field and right field and center field and onto another field, and then we go from that field to another field, and we just go all over the place. Yeah. Want something shoved down their throats by force. Yeah, the Amish have realized that there's strength in community. Yeah, Jay Bell, they have a very strong community. 202. I call them 202 sometimes. Very strong community. When somebody's in trouble, the whole community comes together. They pull out money. Boom, here. Let's say they get to work, and they work and they help everyone in their community. That's the Amish. That's something commendable. Very commendable. I'd like to see more of that in our society, and I have hopes for that. Build a mean barn. They build everything. Highland's going to be good for now. Oh, yeah, look at the barn raisings. Yeah, that's what we see on TV. But go to Amish country. Check it out. Wow, Space Ranger. Some women who have done more than we don't have that feature. Okay, talking to Tiny. Uh, they don't even talk about sex. It's not something taught. It's not even spoke about. Yet they find out about it. They know about it. It's something that's implied, right? You know that a married couple is going to do their thing, and they're going to have a lot of fucking kids. And there's only one way that that happens. there's a reason why they have a lot of kids. And yeah, it's they want a cheap labor force, but hey, fun way to build your community, isn't it? Yeah. So here we are, smoking in the boys' room, hanging out. uh, Refusing to follow orders. Yeah. Reflecting. That's what we're doing. We're reflecting. And it's what? Charity. Girl. No. No. Here, let me take away your temptation. This is the temptation. You see it? Yeah. Chicken. I'm going to put it away. Yes. Because Charity is absolutely tempted. There we go. There you go. Here. Take your mind off of it. Have a little bit of treats. Yeah. I, of course, am going to get another drink of water, I think. I am. It's Thursday. Mm. Oh. Right speech. Right speech, wrong speech. That's an interesting concept. And this is a new religion, mind you. This woke religion. And it is very demonic in nature. It has Luciferian ties, demonic ties. You bet. Absolutely. You know, and it is literally trying to undermine what this day is. What this day brought to the world some 1,200 years ago. I'm sorry, 2022 years ago. Yeah, it's a cult. It is. It's a cult, and they are pushing their cult. But like all cults, they have a they have a way of burning out and losing followers. They. Yeah, this headache is getting worse, y'all. It's getting about my bedtime, I'm sure. Where are we at here? Oh yeah, 10 minutes. I gotta go to bed. Yep. So that's why. So 10-minute warning. 10-minute warning. The left turn saying so they're very right. Two people need to drive without skidding on the guardrails. It is modern and goes way back to 400, at least 400 years to counter the church. Yeah. Get some rest. I will, North Shore. I will, Sean. Definitely. I need to. Yeah. Yep, get your drink orders now.
Yep. Last call. Last call. Pour out your reflections. Yep. If you're woke, you're a joke. I mean, really. You know, I've tried to talk to these people. I have. Uh, no, be charming. That could be why I have a headache. I did my taxes today. Yes, today. I finally did lemon shot. Okay, that might work. A lemon shot just might work. Yes. All right, that's enough. Woo, that's enough. That's enough lemon shots. Yeah, J Bell, I'm gonna try that. Pure concentrated lemon juice. Oh, woo. Well, it burns a little. Woo. Holy shit. Yeah, it is good. Woo. Oh, fuck. But it does work. So, well, we'll see what happens. UFO community poach, you know. Right on, Pepper Cowboy. Yeah. Yeah. Scott's been during tax season. Confuse the body. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, it thins the blood. You know, it thins the blood, and it gives me a shot of, yeah, it does hit harder than rum. Woo! Little lemon shot. $4 in a clone. What you got? What? UFOs, man. UFOs. Have I seen UFOs? I don't know. What? I mean, yeah. We all have seen unidentified flying objects. Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. Man, it makes you dry. Straight lemon juice. Clones. Interdimensional beings. Well, one could argue that we are interdimensional beings. The mind is always free. And if you could talk to sentient beings, all sentient beings, dogs, trees, bees, flowers, grass, lizards, snakes, insects, and you ask them, hey, have you ever contemplated a metaverse? Have you ever contemplated another dimension? And they go, what? Shut up! I'm hungry. Excuse me, while I poop on your shoe. I think there's some wisdom there too. No snakes, no chop that head off. Oh, come on, be charming. Snakes are beautiful creatures. They're just trying to, or your lapel. On shoe, in the shoe. See, Magic loves snakes. In the shoe, that's the worst. Yeah, that's when you know they hate you. That's when you know that they are mad at you. Taxes, income, propagating slavery like prostitution, and the government is in on the pimps. Yeah, evil creatures. No, I wouldn't call them evil. Wow, Tanya, that's crazy. And I can relate to that. I don't like pain pills. Don't like the meds. Better juice one whole lemon, mix 8 ounces of water, and then down. Fresh lemon has live enzymes and micronutrients. Why the hate? I bet a black snake roam free in my. Wow, cool. Snake lives matter. That's right. Snake lives matter. They got a right to live too. And they're all not. If snakes were evil, then a lot of people would be dead. But they're not. They just want to be left alone to live their lives. And,